So I take this great pride to stand before you today in the official launching of our strategic plan of 2023-2028, which will guide us in the next 5 years. We have spent adequate time in the formulation of this plan, giving ourselves space where we interacted with all stakeholders so that our children will have a future. You've just seen from this drama, as much as it was very hilarious, this is what goes on in the public. If it is a birth certificate, if it is police extortion at the roadblocks, somebody told me that corruption is an invisible crime because you don't see the giver and the taker. And I corrected him. I told him in the developing country, it is a visible crime because you are stopped by the policeman extorting in front of everybody. You go for a birth certificate, you are told it's not available. You go for these services, you are told the printer is not working. You go to all kinds of manners. So in the developing country, corruption is a visible crime. Maybe in the advanced country, because everything is advanced, maybe even corruption is done in an advanced way. So we held numerous consultations, and people presented their views, where we want to go, where we were, where we are right now, and where we are coming from, and where we want to be. And we arrived that the main theme of this strategic plan will be an integrity and value-driven Kenyan society. So let's take this opportunity to thank each one and every one of you who participated in one way or another in the contribution of the realization of this strategic plan that today we are very proud we are ready for the launching. In particular, I also would like to thank the people who have partnered with us. And here I'm talking about the European Union and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. We thank you, European Union. We thank you, UNODC. Your Excellencies, the plan comes with the 20th anniversary since Kenya signed and ratified the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, commonly referred as UNCAC, following its adoption by the UN General Assembly on 31st October 2003. That is, we are talking of next month, 31st October, we'll be marking 20 years. So in the last two decades, Kenya has covered a lot on the ground of its effort in the fight against corruption. Somebody may say this is subject to argument. One person asked me, what is the progress in the fight against corruption in Kenya? And I keep on referring, some of my colleagues know what I talk about. I say, look here, the clock has got several. There is the one for the hour, the one for the minutes, and the one for the seconds. Kenyans want to see the fight against corruption in the way the stick for the seconds move, because it's so visible. For our side, we say it is moving in the right direction, of course, at the pace of the stick for the hour. It takes time. You cannot see it visibly moving, but we are heading in the right direction. How do we go about it? We may have the best strategic plan on earth. We can have all the instruments, but I keep on saying that the fight against corruption is just like the way a human being manages a lifestyle disease, or the way our children get educated. And Professor Kiama is here. He will attest to that. You can have the best school, but a school depends on 4 factors. The parents or guidance, the guardian or parents, the pupil, the teachers, and the facilities. If you have the 4, you will have the best results. Likewise, for you to manage a lifestyle disease, there is the doctor, there's yourself, and there's the environment. The doctor will give you some pills, and he will tell you, don't take this food, make sure you don't take a lot of salt. And then there's that self-discipline of yourself and those who live immediate family members. So if you're told, don't take alcohol, and when you go home, the first thing you open the fridge is full of bottles of Tuskers and wine and whatever, you get tempted. So the people who stay with you contribute for you not to control that disease. So at a national level, in strategic level, let us look at the fight against corruption in the 3 main aspects, which I keep on talking about. It may not be in my speech, but I really emphasize that if we want to counter this monster called corruption, there are three main pillars. The political culture of this country must change. If for you to get a political seat, you must go on and bribe, use and quote means, bribing, maybe you want to become an MP, you want to become a governor. The only sensible thing for that man when he takes over the office, he has three priorities. He will tell you, I'm bringing development. But in his heart, that person will have three priorities. One is to recoup what he has spent. Two, he has to accumulate for the next election. Three, if he's a strategist, he has to now think of how he can have extra so that in case he is not re-elected, he is safe, money-wise. So if that political culture of bribery and token is not going to end in this country, please don't make noise saying our politicians are corrupt. The politicians are a product of the society. It's not them. They don't drop from heaven. It's us who make them. Then we have a second option, that is the public. The public must change its culture. There was a time in this country where citizens decided to arrest policemen taking bribes. It was a short-term incident, but it happened, and policemen refused to take bribes along the roads. Today, they take it in the open, and even if they look at you and you have no problem, they'll tell you, mzee, hauna kitu kidogo tu uniangalie. And that matatu that is being stopped, it has an engineer, it has a professor, it has an ex-military officer, and we keep quiet. We don't make any noise. Our only noise that we have is to blame the police. I am not defending the police, but the police becomes a product of our rotten society. The last one, which I whispered to the Prime Cabinet Secretary, is about the institutions that we have. The institutions that we have must be strengthened. And I keep on taking pride that this country, if there's anything good about this country, is that this country has got a constitution that has established well-laid institutions that should function for the prosperity of this country. So that's what I'm talking about, that the strategic pillar must look at the political culture, and the public, they must change on how they do their business and their support, and then we look at institutions, that is the judiciary, the ODPP, the Office of the Auditor General, and all other groups.